This week I was in Manhattan and I reached out to a friend that I hadn't seen in a while. I asked if he had a few minutes to meet and maybe we can learn a little bit of Torah together. He said he was busy, but possibly he would be free around 4 p.m. So we agreed that I'd text him beforehand, and if I was still around and he was available, I'd come by. At around 3:30, I sent him a text message saying that if it still works for you, I'll be there in about 30 minutes. No response, so I figured no news is good news, and we're on. I drove to his building and I arrived there a little after 4 p.m. Just as I pressed the elevator button to go upstairs, my phone vibrated. It was a text message from him with a sad face emoji, and then he wrote, "So sorry, it's not going to work for me today." Now I had a dilemma. I was already there. Do I ignore the text and go up anyways? Or do I respect his message, text back, and leave? I decided, since he said that he's not available, as much as it felt like a waste of time for me, that's life. These things happen. It wasn't a formal meeting, so no hard feelings. I turned and I walked away from the elevator. But then I paused. I was already here in the building, I said to myself. He's my friend. Even if he's busy, maybe I could just pop in, say a quick hello, give him a hug, and leave. At least I would have come for something. I turned back toward the elevator, and then I hesitated again. Maybe it's not appropriate. Maybe I'm overstepping. I stood there, torn. Finally, I said to myself, stop overthinking this. You came here for something good, only good can come from it. And I went upstairs. As I stepped out of the elevator, I immediately heard his voice. I couldn't see him yet, but I called out, and he looks up at me from behind his computer. I smiled and I said, I just got your text message by the elevator, but I figured I'd come up anyway. Before I could even finish, he jumps up, he gives me a big hug, and he says, I'm so happy that you just got the message in the elevator. I'm really so happy to see you. And then he tells me, I really only have 3 minutes, and then I have to go. We talked for a minute or two. He had to leave, and I said, you know what? I have a car here. I can give you a ride. So we studied some Torah in the office. We studied some Torah on the walk to the car, and we even squeezed in a few minutes in the car until I dropped him off. This moment reminded me of a powerful truth. Do what you're supposed to do and let God take care of the rest. We all have doubts. We all hesitate. We all overthink. But sometimes we just need to act with sincerity and let Hashem handle the outcome. When your intention is good, when your heart is in the right place, God takes care of the rest. In this week's Parsha Shemot, we read about Moshe's first encounter with God at the burning bush. Hashem tells Moses to go to the Pharaoh and demand from him, let my people go. But Moses hesitates. He's uncomfortable. He starts listing reasons why he's not the right person for the job. What if they don't believe me? What if they ask me for your name? I have a speech impediment. He's full of doubt. But God doesn't answer every concern directly. Instead, he makes one thing clear. I will be with you. I'm going with you. You're not alone. You're just the messenger. I'm the one that's running the show. And we know how the story ends. Moshe goes. He becomes the greatest leader in Jewish history. He leads the people out of Egypt, all because he ultimately trusted God and took that first step. As we begin the book of Shemot, the second book of the Torah, and in this week's Parsha and next week's Parsha, we discuss the hardships in Egypt. Let us remember that the Shabbos has a special energy. And may this Shabbos bring you clarity in moments of doubt, strength in times of hesitation, and the courage to take that first step, knowing that when we move forward with faith, Hashem walks beside us. Just like God went with Moses, so too God goes with us. May we all merit to hear the call like Moses did, and to answer it with trust, humility, and purpose. I wish you a good Shabbos.